This video is about the human cost of war. First, you see footage of planes dropping an herbicide known as Agent Orange. It was used to kill plants in Vietnam in order to flush out any enemy soldiers that were hiding in the jungle. But it had terrible side effects as well, and they are a human cost of war. Here, you see a deformed child, which was common in children born during and shortly after the Vietnam War. Because the United States spread Agent Orange so heavily and in so many areas, lots of children were affected. They were born without eyes or noses and had numerous developmental problems. Again, here are several more victims of Agent Orange. This is a direct cost of war, and it's one that, unfortunately, the United States has refused to take responsibility for. This video shows the nuclear bomb that America dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. The human costs here are among the greatest of any single battle in world history. The bomb and its after effects killed between 90 and 166,000 people. In fact, the decision to drop the bomb remains controversial today because it was so destructive. As you look at the damage it did, the obliteration of the town, the displaced people who lost their home and everything they owned, consider the negative effects of war and the human cost and the casualties associated with it. The image you see here quantifies the cost of wars in terms of deaths. World War II was the deadliest of any war, with over 40 million people dying in just 6 years. The American cities must also deal with the cost of human war. Veterans often return from war emotionally scarred and jobless. For those too mentally disturbed or unable to find a job, veterans often end up being homeless. In fact, of the 8,200 homeless people in San Diego County, about 35% of them are veterans. The Veterans Village of San Diego seeks to provide temporary housing and support services for our veterans. Lastly, you get a visual sense for the human cost of war by looking at the plaques memorializing soldiers who have died here at Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial. It is truly sad to think of all these people who went to war and died, leaving behind families who struggle to deal with their loss. This is one of many sites across the country paying homage to America's human cost in going to war. The veterans that return home, often after traumatizing experiences and with PTSD, are a real human cost of war that is too frequently overlooked. As a country, we should more thoughtfully consider all of the consequences of war before we pursue our next one.